general, these are going to be longer and thicker reads when you finish them. So in general. So for most of us, that just means we get to finish this read a lot faster in a much more forgiving way. So let me start with the Chris Lieb and give all these a quick dip here. Air is very dry out here. Things dry out very quickly. So here's the Chris Lieb. I have been placing the middle of the top wire at 28 millimeters. Now, length, of course, is highly subjective depending on your setup. And the most important thing is that your reed play in tune. So you're going to want to experiment. But I would say, in general, maybe give yourself 2 to 3 extra millimeters than what you're used to playing on. And then, of course, you can always make it short if you need to. Okay, so that's the crow on the Darrow Hill. No crow. A little bit on the Chris Lieb. There we go. And then the Fox one. Okay, so my finished measurements with the dial indicator at the back, it's going to be about 120. This is metric. And at the front, sitting about 20 at the very, very tip. Okay. There is a bit of a different shape to finishing this tip. And so I want to show you that. What you'll want to do is subdivide your blade into 3 even sections. Okay. And then essentially what we create is what Sean Seguin has called an anchor. So take that top section and divide it in half. And then we're essentially going to create a tip. Kind of looks like this. A little bit off there. You can get the general idea of the shape. So you're going to end up taking a lot of cane a little bit further back than probably what you're used to, especially in this area right here. This is the area that I tend to point out to my students. And it gives it some nice, really nice definition in the tenor range. Just opens up the sound without letting the pitch go flat, which is nice. Basically in this area right here. So right along that spine, but a little bit further back than at least I normally used to take cane off, okay? You're going to avoid your corners a bit. We don't want to over thin these corners. Think about taking cane from right here. Let me turn it over to show that a little bit better. So we're going to take cane right here. You're going to kind of avoid that middle of the tip. So we're going to take cane from there as well. And you'll kind of avoid your corners. We don't want to over thin the corners. Okay, so in general, let me just check to see where I'm at with the back. See how it's come off my profiler as of late. Yeah, it's a bit heavy. Ooh, it's actually really heavy. We've had to go between 2 profiling machines recently because we had to have one going for a repair. So I'm not surprised I'm a little bit heavy. I let my students make their adjustments and yeah, so I'm a bit heavy. Okay, so first of all, let me just take off cane all around. And one thing I do really like about using this larger flat file, it makes it a lot easier just to kind of thin down the whole reed really quickly. So I'm going to just thin down the whole reed really quickly. Take off all those great markings I just made. I'm going to go right over the spine. I'm not worried about the spine. I leave a pretty decent spine in our profiling machine, so I know I've got cane to spare there. On the website, you'll see examples of the shape that is created, the tip shape that's created by the hand finishing. I don't have a really great reed lamp here at my house. I guess I should have brought one from work. I have a desk lamp, but it won't show it really well, so I'm not going to try and show it to you. But go ahead and head over to the website to see what that looks like. Again, I'm just taking cane off all over in equal amounts. So I know I'm heavier than I need to be. By comparison, my old remaking style at the back in front of the collar is usually around 90. So this is a much heavier reed. Okay, here we go. Not a horrible crow as it is. Okay, so let me just check to see how much damage I did back there. Oh yeah, much better. Much closer to 120. I probably went a bit far, huh? A little heavy on this side. Love using a dial indicator. Really takes a lot of the guesswork out. Highly recommend it. If you're not using a dial indicator, I really believe you can up your reed making game by just knowing what your measurements are. Even if they don't always finish out the same, just having an awareness. Okay. So that's a pretty decent crow, but you can, I don't know if it comes through. It has that kind of thuddy sound. I actually will play on it just so you can hear it. Do a camera switch here. Okay, so this is the yeah. Okay, so this is the Fox 1. Yeah. And all I've done is just thin the blade overall. Pretty great. that's a great start for a reed, for basically just clipping the tip and just kind of thinning the blade overall. There we go. I really have not done much to it. Okay. However, to really give it some nice nuanced sound, and obviously to get, the full dynamic range, especially on the lower end, we have to make some changes here. We subdivide the reed into 3 equal parts. Again, I'm eyeing this. I feel confident about my ability to eye this. And then that top section cut in half, and then just kind of draw an anchor. It goes down like that. And that's where we want to focus our cane removal from. And then also this secondary area right here, avoiding the center of the tip and the corner of the tip. You can do this with a knife, file, whatever you want, doesn't matter. I'm gonna use my knife. This is my Kyocera knife. Anyone who does follow my YouTube channel has heard me monologue about this. I love it. I don't sharpen it. If for some reason I feel like it gets to whatever, I buy a new one for $20. End of story. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I've done both areas. Same thing over here. And then this is kind of the secondary little half moons right there. Okay. So I definitely need some more work. Take a little bit more cane off so I can get those really extreme soft dynamics. But I'll just keep working the same area. I'm going to focus more at the tip, but I'm not going to go crazy taking off the corners, and I'm going to just lightly remove at the very center of the tip. Because I'm working to get that soft side response. And then take a little bit more cane right at the tip, right between the corner and the center. And this should help to refine the sound, increase the response. And as you can tell, it's already very vibrant. No worries there. If that tip opening is a bit more than you like, you can go ahead and just crimp that tube and then massage the tip down to get the tip opening that you're more accustomed to playing on. Good. I can hear that one of the crows is a bit tight, and the way that it just played tells me that I think the proportions are all there. They're all relative. The shape of the reed is good, but I think I just want to take off cane all over. So for me, when that occurs, when I feel like I'm really close and the proportions and the shapes are there on the blade, then I just like to use sandpaper and just kind of thin the reed all over, just to kind of help blend. No ridges, just lots of blending. Remember, ridges and anywhere where the profile's not consistently tapering creates dead spots, and that kills vibration. So just want to make sure I have everything blended at this point. Spending a bit more time at the back just because I felt like when I played just then that the bottom octave was just a bit tight, not quite wanting to respond. And I like to play on easy reeds. I don't like to work too hard. Who does? Easy reeds with a nice sound and an easy response. Full dynamic range. You know, the perfect reed. Ooh, that feels nice. I'm happy with that for a first day. I'll probably take a little bit more tomorrow or whenever I play on this. Well, let me show you where I'd go back to. So I really like where that's sitting right now. Likely what will happen when I next pick this up, I was hearing it on the G there, is just take from right here. And again, I wish I had my office lamp or my reed making lamp, which is at my office at school, not here. Because I bet if I were to put this under the light, we would confirm that it's a bit heavy right there. That's likely where I'll take some more cane off. I can see against the black plaque a little bit of my contours, but not as well as you can with a nice lamp. But I suspect that's where I want to take a little bit more cane just to open up that tenor range a little bit. Keep it free, but without lowering the pitch. But you can see this is a pretty fast process.